Hello, everybody. This is Lodurus here, and welcome to what I'm hoping will be a new series. I'm currently in Guild Wars 2. It's a MMORPG. It's probably one of my favorite games, and it's something that I've been meaning to do a video on for quite a long time, but it's been very difficult for me to do one because it's a case of when you love something so much, you want to do a great job on it, but you just lose the words on how to fully explain it. In fact, this is actually the third time I've tried to record something for it. Not because what I did previously was terrible, but I didn't feel like it was good enough. And so I'm going to try and show the game off to you guys, and I'm kind of curious as to your response about it, as I keep looking at various things over here and there. But yeah, I want to talk about a game that I love because for me it's one of the things that I love in video games is exploration, and to illustrate that point right now, for those of you who play the game, you may not know where I am. I'm at the top of, if I pull up the map here, the Gilded Hollow. It's one of the three guild halls. I think there's only three. I may be wrong, but this is my guild's, well, not my guild's, it's the guild I belong to's, Guild Hall. And what's awesome is the attention to detail in the game that really has always impressed me about this game the most. We look over here to the southwest. Yeah, southwest. We can see that we're looking off to the trees here and the areas of the jungles. And if we look behind us, we've got I'll bring up there for a sec. We've got a desert over here. Silver wastes, dry top, and sure enough behind us, it's the border of the desert. They didn't have to put this detail in. In fact, to show you the level of detail they like to put into their games, they've added this desert here at the top of our guild hall. This area has nothing in it. It's just, they didn't have to design this map. And that's something that blows my mind about this game, is if we come down here, you can see there's branches upon branches of stuff, and that's something that I love about this game, and it's why I keep playing it. I love the exploration. Now, in amongst the rocks here, there's all kinds of little hidden areas. I don't know if we'll find one. I mean, just flying around, you can find them. Little ledges, little temples hidden throughout the area. Yeah, right here. There's a temple. No reason at all. There's a temple. They could have just made this nothingness, but they didn't. It's these little flourishes that they added in the game that I love, and it's why I love this game. It encourages me to explore, which is how I'm drawn to games. Games that allow me to explore are the games I enjoy the most. The worlds that they build interest me to see what they can come up with, and this game continually interests me, and it blows my mind. And I want to show you guys more of it. So I'm going to go head off to some of the other areas. I want to go to the main human town, Divinity Reach. There's, in case you're curious, there's 5 races. There's humans, which are human. Asura, which are kind of like technical wizard gremlins. Sylvari, which would be basically your elves, if they were to be compared to a Tolkien. Ooh, that's pretty. A Tolkien race. Char. Actually, let's see if we can find one. It's a human. And it's a human. We are in the human town, so it is a little weird. Oh, there's an Asura. There's a Char. And, of course, I'm not going to find a Sylvari. There's a Sylvari. Plant people. They kind of fill the role of the elves in this. And you've got the Char, and then you've got the Norn, which are like the giants. Nordic style. They're based off the Nordic traditions and folklores and myths. And it's, I don't know, I remember the first time I played the game and I came into this town blew my mind. Just how the scale and the detail they put into it. And that's one of the things I love about this game, is just the detail they're willing to put into it. I like the fact that people will randomly start talking. Like, these NPCs just don't hang around and just stand around and do nothing. They actually talk, they interact, they help breathe life into this world, and they've done a great job in this game of breathing life into it, and this is what keeps me playing. And random multiple clones. They've placed random things you can interact with and read. I'm not going to talk to that lady. Just stuff you learn about the world, and this. They seem almost insignificant in everyday life, but they're aspects of everyday life. And I love that they add them. I love that they design this. And that's, like I said, that's one of the reasons what brought me into this game. I started playing because it is free to play. And it's... Ooh. So, as a quick little interruption, in the lower left-hand corner there, you can see the text. One of the things that blows my mind about this game, and we're going to spy on these people, is that this game supports a role-playing community, and that blows my mind. You can actually go into looking for groups, and there's a whole section for role-playing. One of the main areas here is here in the Fountain of Rurikton, but I've seen people role-playing all throughout the world. And I think that is amazing that they encourage this and support it, and it has a healthy community. I'll let them have their piece. But it's, as I was saying, the game's detail, the game's story is what drew me in. It was free to play, friends of mine were playing, and I was like, what do I gotta lose? Nothing. And it was free to level 80, it still is, so I started playing the game. And I enjoyed it. And I was like, whatever, I'll stop, who cares? And I got to level 80. I finished the story, and I thought, oh my god, this is amazing, what happens next? And that's a sign of good storytelling. That's a sign of good writing. When you go, oh, I want to know what happens next. What happens next? And that's what this game has done. And I love it for it. And it's one of the reasons why I want to support this game is I enjoy it so much. I enjoy that. Boop. And we got a speed boost. I love that. Cormier, one of the gods, by the way. I love that there's a mythos created for the world. Each human, each culture has its own designs, beliefs, gods. I play D&D, and I love world building, and they've done a wonderful job here. And that's what's drawn me into this game, is the world. The community is amazing. The people in this game are incredibly helpful. I've never had a problem. Every community has its bad spots, and one of the bad areas is, well, obviously PvP, because it's highly competitive environments, but that's what you're going to get. But even then, the people there are really nice. Like, getting somebody who's rude is really rare. So, ooh, that's a nice shot. So it's a really healthy and helpful community, and that's something else that's a big plus with this game. And so I want to start covering it. I want to start doing episodes of it, and I've been really torn as to how to do that. Do I want to do a streaming on Twitch, like a vast majority of people do, or do I want to do like episodic things? Maybe cover a fight, cover a boss fight, do a bit of story. And it's left me torn because, as I said, story is what got me hooked into this game. Wanting to know what happens next.
When I was a kid, the worst we ever did was tip cattle.
When I was a kid, we never had cattle. We didn't even have pigs.
It wasn't like it is now, with all the killing. Disgraceful.
I love that. I love that they're just talking. You learn so much about the world through these random conversations. I love that these flourishes have been added. It's rare to see games like this. And like I said, it's free to play up to level 80. After that, you buy the game. There's no subscription fee, which is awesome. Anything you want, they have... Let's go land over here on top of the Glass Eagle. They've got a trading company. You can buy random stuff. It's not going to load because, curse you game. Of course it's going to load. It's all skins. There's no real play to win. And I love that. There's things you can get that give you a brief advantage, but you can get those in game. I love the fact that this game encourages exploration. The game encourages you to play the game, and it gives a rewarding grind. It's not trying to grind you into the dust like other free-to-play MMOs. It's just wants you to play its game. It wants you to explore its world, and I love that. Crafting stations. It's gorgeous. I love that there's 9 different classes. There's quite a variety, and they all...
So hard to find.
There's no... One of the things that's always bothered me with MMOs is the lack of creativity in class design, where you have a fighter, a cleric, a thief, a rogue, a ranger. It's all very much modeled off of D&D, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not very original. And here you've got your unoriginal ones. Like you've got your warrior. I'm playing a warrior. You've got your thieves. You've got your rangers. Again, things that aren't very original. But then you've got things like the Mesmer, which is an illusionist, which is a non-typical class in an MMO. Like, they're here. There's an event going on. Do I really want to talk to them? Oh, the well's probably poisoned. Let's switch to the raptor. They've got the Mesmer, which is an illusionist, and they work with illusions. They create doppelgangers of themselves to fight. They hide amongst their clones. I think that's awesome. I think it's a great design. You've got your elementalist, which would be like your traditional D&D kind of sorcerer blaster mage. You have a revenant, which blends a bunch of different combat styles. I've yet to play it. It seems really cool. It's on my list to try. Even the ranger has different styles. You can be, a ranged ranger, where you're all about using bows, or you can have pets that work for you, or... So even then, there's different divisions within there, and I like the classes, though there is no healing class, any class could be a healing class. Any class could be a support class. I could be a warrior who's all about support. I'll just run around creating banners I'm basically a glorified cheerleader. I make banners, I swing them around, and I help people. Like that's... Anybody can do that. Every class has that option. They have a ghost that's adorable. It's... Like I said, I'm going to be covering this. I really don't know what I'm going to do. My guild leader was very nice enough to help. Actually, all my guildmates were really helpful in figuring out what to do next. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them up on their suggestions. I don't want to spoil the story, but thankfully one of them was kind enough to calculate all the variables for the base story in the game. There are 308 different plot points. That's a lot. You're not going to play them all when you play your character, at all. These are divided up by the races, and then each race has like 3 main ones, and then choices you make throughout the game determine what actions you do, what quests, events, things like that. And it's all going to come back to the final point. I'm not going to spoil what that is, but... And we're going to come into our first boss fight, actually. Bit of a treat. Shadow Behemoth. There he is. This is the very first boss I ever saw in this game, and it blew my mind. I'm not going to lie. We're going to get smoked by it, because there's not a lot of people here. Welcome to the Shadow Behemoth. It's not the most complex boss. This is the starting area of the game. But it is awesome when you are first starting out and you have no idea what you're doing, and this massive beast just spawns up in the swamp without you paying attention. And you have no idea what you're doing, but suddenly there's portals here that appear out of nowhere and are killing you and summoning beasts, and you're dying and you don't know what the heck's happening. I love it. It's great. This is what I love. Just random boss fights occurring out in the middle of the world. I switched from my gun. You can use different weapons too. Like every class has weapons they can use. I don't know. It's a lot of fun, and I'm going to be covering it, guys. I'm going to be doing it with you. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for us, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited. I plan to run a class I haven't played before. Won't say what it is, And I'm going to do something ridiculous. I think it'll be fun to do it. I think it'll be hilarious. Let's go back to our sword. That's what I do best. It is... Yeah, you guys will see. I think you'll enjoy it. It'll be a lot of fun. I look forward to exploring this world with you guys. It is, like I said, this is my favorite game to play. I love just coming onto this world, bombing around. I love exploring the world. I've been playing the game for a year and a half, and I don't get tired of exploring. It's one of my favorite things to do. And now that I have mounts, they were just actually introduced into the game. I love that I can explore different areas, because they've added the mounts and they've taken areas that you couldn't normally have to access, and they've created... You can go to them. Like, it's not... They don't just pop up invisible walls. Obviously, they'll put in invisible walls for map boundaries when you know, transition from one map to another. That's fine. But there's no just random invisible... If there's a mountain, you eventually get to the top of that mountain. They'll let you. There's no real point to it, but they'll let you. I love the fact that the game designers let you do that. I love the fact... One of the things that blew my mind, and you guys will not understand this, and that's fine, but I'll try and explain it as best I can. Within the mythos and the story and the world that they've built, one of the areas was raised from the ocean. The undead residents there praise the gods because their area sank to the ground 250 years before the new gods were established. They have no idea there are new gods in the world. They praise their old gods with no clue that the old gods are dead. I think that's awesome. That's an attempt. They didn't have to do that. They could have been like, oh, well, people would have told them that, you know, hey, new gods are on. No, they have no clue. I think that's awesome. They're living their world, or their lives, as if their world never ended. And I think that's amazing. So, attentions to detail. One of the things that blew my mind is, and you're asked a bunch of random questions when you make your character. One of the things I was asked was, what god does my character follow? And I was like, whatever, I'm gonna go with Cormyr. And at one point, the game actually calls it... I'd forgotten about this, but my character's like, oh hey, I follow Cormyr. I'm like, what? Do I really? And I do. I thought that was awesome. A detail that was just random, I didn't even care about, came up later in the game, like hundreds of hours later, in the story, and was relevant to the story. I thought that was awesome. It's that kind of detail that they add here that it always blows my mind. I love their references. I love oh, he's a little angry. Let's help him. I think if we had a few more people, we could burn him a little faster, but unfortunately, that is not the case. One of the things you can do, and this is something cool that I enjoy, is you can actually looking for group and just go on world bosses. They'll have boss trains where everybody just gets together doing those bosses, and you'll run from boss to boss to boss throughout the world, murdering them. It's a great way to make treasure, especially make money in the game when you're first starting off, is just to do boss runs and sell the stuff you get. Make some money. But yeah, like I said, the game is free to start off. If you want to get the expansions, I think they're like $50 for both expansions. They're well worth it. They're well done stories. You may hate the game designers at some point because you're going to be attached to characters and they may die. But I think that's a good sign of storytelling, when you can relate, when you want to, when you care about characters. That's a well-written story, and I think that's awesome. We're stuck behind a plant. Nope, portal. Shoot. Didn't want to be too close. He is just not going down. Yeah, we're probably short a few people. And that's actually something I should mention right now. I keep saying we're short a few people. This is a very small group taking on the boss. Some bosses, in the Heart of Thorns expansion, there are whole maps dedicated. You will need the whole map to beat various bosses. Cannot talk and target. This is terrible. I like that, but that isn't like the case throughout the world. Various maps have various events. Like, the events that lead up to here, everybody's going to do. There's multiple events that'll lead and trigger this point. Get in there and start shooting, Ludverse. So yeah, we'll finish off killing this guy. Sparky needs to go down as fast as possible. As fast as possible. I didn't want to use that skill. I love hitting the wrong button. And... oh my god, he's like a sliver away from death. That is always the case. I don't know, it's a... what can I say? It's a game like this that makes me happy. And I encourage you all to play. Like, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the grind. It's not, like I said, like other MMOs where the grind is terrible. It's enjoyable, which is really weird. I always thought the concept of grind was silly. And he's dead. He literally was one shot from death. Get out of here, buddy. Get out of here. Go back to where you came from. Cool. What do we get? And a massive chest with stuff. And meh, I've got better stuff. Like I said, this character, I've had him for about a year. He's my original, not one of my alts. I love him to bits. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed showing off some of Guild Wars. I really am looking forward to doing this. I'm hoping to do it every Friday. But I'm going to take some time and try and figure out everything I want to do. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. And I look forward to playing this and showing it off with you guys. See ya.